Hi guys, I'm here with Stuart Zagnit, the person who's voiced multiple TMNT characters, but you might also know him as Professor Oak on Pokemon.
Hi. Hi, everybody. As you can see, I dressed appropriately for the conversation. I like to look the part.
So the first question is, did you watch the previous versions of the Turtles?
I haven't, to be honest, I haven't watched a lot of the stuff that I do. So I know of it. I think I've seen a few episodes. I was curious, obviously, when I was doing a guest voice for a season. That was fun to do. But I don't keep up with it. So you probably know more about it than I do.
How did you find out about the TV show?
To audition for it, you mean
Yeah.
originally? It was a very lucky accident. What happened was I'm going to just change this here. So there we go. What happened was I had a friend who had been in show business and was acted in his teens, and he was not in the business anymore, but he still had friends that were involved. So he said, a friend of mine is producing this new anime show, and they're looking for character actors for character voices. So if you're interested, here's his number. Give him a call. Tell him you're a friend of mine, and see what happens. So I called him up, and they set an appointment for me. I went in and did. I guess I did maybe 5 or 6 different characters, and one of them was this eccentric professor character. And I didn't think much of it. I did the audition and went home. And about 2 weeks after, I think it was about 2 weeks, I got a phone call saying, we'd like you to do this professor character. So they scheduled appointments, and I would come in and do the first few episodes. And initially, they would play back my audition tape for me so I could remember what it was I was doing when I first auditioned, the sound that they liked. Because obviously I did something instinctively without really knowing. I looked at the picture of him and I said, well, I think he sounds like this. This is how it's coming to me. And pretty soon after doing it for a while, it got a more automatic, where I didn't need to be reminded, But a funny incident happened in around the first year when I was voicing one of the video games, and they had an executive from Nintendo who flew in from Japan, and he was in the booth with the directors, and I was in the room, doing the voice. So I had pages and pages and pages of words I had to do for the video game. And we started the session, and I hadn't done too much. And suddenly the producer, who doesn't speak much English, he gets on the microphone and he stops me and he goes, no, 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 no. He goes, more oki. And for a second, I didn't really understand what he meant, but I think what he was referring to was that kind of crack in the voice that Professor Oak has, and that's the Oki sound. So it actually reminded me when he said that, and from that time on, I knew what Oak sounded like. So this non-English speaking Japanese producer helped remind me of who the character was, so that I had created. So
what was the auditioning process like?
Very simple. I mean, I went into a booth just like we would do the sessions, and there was the tech side. So the room was split in half. So there's a glass partition. There's a director. There's a guy running the sound there. And inside the booth that I had was a music stand that had the copy. It had the lines for each character. and there was a TV in the room, so they would bring up the picture to show me what the characters look like, and then all I had to do was read the script to match each character, whether it's synced up perfectly or not was not. They just wanted to get the sound of my voice, and they would record each of the different characters. I don't even remember the other characters I auditioned for, but the most important one for me was Professor Oak, and I liked his. He was a serious scientist who also was eccentric and had a sense of humor. And so, you know, and I like the fact that he was kind of a father figure to Ash, which I think was, you know, a good thing. I think I'm going to pull a shade down, so I'm getting glare. Let me just hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. There we go. Let's see. I think this will be better. Look at that. It's a little better. A little better. It's very sunny today. I'm in New York, and it's been very cold, and this is the first day that it's actually going to be close to 60 degrees. So
Cool.
We're all excited about that.
And was it difficult to get into the character?
Actually, not. I think the thing that, like I said, the particulars of the voice that became his signature, it took me a little bit time to lock those in. But for me, and it's really true about all acting, is that when there are little bits of humor inside the character, that to me is the things that I normally look for in the way I approach life, is that I like to find those little, I call them little relief valves that take the pressure off situations. And the fact that Professor Oak never lost his sense of humor, I think that was really a good character thing. So that helped me stay connected to it. And I would say, you know, over the nearly 10 years that I did the voice, he and I bonded pretty carefully, pretty completely. So I feel very connected to him now. Now, if I do greetings for people, and there's a company called Cameo, and just so your viewers can know that they can reach me on Cameo, and I can do holiday greetings, birthday greetings, little special messages that I have internalized him. So I can do Oak speak, things that aren't scripted. I can create them in my head now and do them. So, I mean, it always seemed right that Professor Oak should always identify himself as, "Hello there, it's me, Professor Oak." I just like the way that sounds, and I've been using that greeting pretty much continuously. So, and then I like to end all my things with "bye bye." It's like it just seems to be an Oakism that I've adopted. So, it's, he informed me, and now we inform each other. So it's kind of a mutual thing for us.
Did you have any input on the character of the show?
Yeah, I mean, it became we all became on the same page. So I think they knew what I was bringing to it. The time when I mostly had input was when we were doing the sessions. The English scripts were written to try to approximate the lip flaps that we got from the Japanese video. So there was very little altering of the Japanese product that came over. So the idea was to slip the English voices in as seamlessly as they were done there. And that meant that sometimes a slight rewrite had to happen, not just the timing of it, but the syllables had to fit the flaps. And we were very careful about matching them. So that's where occasionally my writer's hat would go on, and I would get an idea about something that I think would have the same meaning, but would fit better. So that I always had that ability to suggest that, and a lot of times those things worked very well. And we all helped each other, because the product was, the goal was to make a good show, and make it as if we were creating the entire thing here in the States. And I think over the years the quality of that stood up, and I thought the writing was good, the direction was good, and I thought the voice casting was terrific. I loved my fellow original cast members. So and the thing is, we rarely saw each other because we never did a group session. So I would be in the waiting room, and maybe Veronica was in doing Ash's lines, and I'd see her on the way out. Or Eric Stewart was going to come in after me, and we'd see each other that way. And it was only years later when we started doing some of the Comic-Cons, and I think we were in Birmingham, Birmingham, Alabama. Excuse me. There's two Birminghams. Birmingham, Alabama, and Veronica and Eric and a few other voice actors were there. And we got to do a panel together. And it was one of the first times we'd all been in a room talking, and we all had mics, and we would go in and out of characters and sort of joke with each other. And it was really fun. I have to say, it was really a fun thing to do. I don't know if I answered your question or went on a tangent like I often do. So.
Are any of the voices you done on any TV shows, are they like normal voice?
I think it's inevitable. I mean, people we're not carbon copies of one another. So I think everyone who has done these voices after us has done an approximation, but they've done a certain spin on what we originated. So some are closer than others. I like to believe that our fans are very loyal and miss our individual voices, and I appreciate that very much. It means a lot to me that it had that impact on them. So whenever I would meet people, usually they would say as much to me, and it's very gratifying as an actor in general, as a voice actor. You know, it's pretty anonymous work, because you go in and do the job and you go home, and you don't have that. When I do theater, I do a lot of live theater here in New York, and I've also done tours around the country. You're always going into a huge auditorium with I did the national tour of Wicked, the musical Wicked, for 15 months, and we'd go into theaters that were anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000, and to get that response is something you never get as a voice actor, you know. So it's just a very different environment, and so when I have had a chance to meet people in person, it fills that void. You know, there's just a lot that's missing, and it makes you trust in the work that you do, because you don't have that immediate sense from an audience that they're laughing or they're applauding or, you know, or booing or whatever they would do. So you have to imagine that they're there listening to you.
Thank you for watching, and if you do want to see more from Stuart Zagnit, you can click the link in the description to see social media pages, and also if you want to get a personal message or video message from him, you can click the link in the description to his Cameo, where he'll give you a personal message. So yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Yo, bye.